the Frenchiest French fry, and hello, my darling people who listen to me. How is everybody doing? Is it good? It's a beautiful day. I have all the windows open, and I have a cat that's like in the windowsill trying to break out of the house. Because, yeah. So, if there's a lot of background noise, I apologize. I have the windows open because it is such a lovely day. Binks, say hi. Oh, she's on camera. Oh, I hate this. Let me go. Let me go. Okay. She's trying to knock over stuff. I know. Well, I wanted to give you guys just a little bit of updates before we get into the video today. I have a new job. So it is full-time. It is exciting. I'm super excited about it. I got my nails done specifically for the job. I think they look really, really cute. I'm gonna have to cut them down a little bit more so that I can type because they're just slightly long enough to make that difficult. So I'm going to have to figure that out. I also got a haircut, and this is part of my hair journey. I am trying to be a lot more healthy with what I do with my body and things like that, and that includes hair things. In my family, we traditionally, all the women start getting perms from a young age, and I discovered that perms are not in fact healthy for you, but I do know that my hair has a slight curl to it, so we're going to just, you know, continue to grow it out and clip back the perm and get rid of that and continue to just see how my hair looks naturally. Yeah, I think it looks good, like for real. I think it looks great right now, so we'll see. As you can tell, like, I think this part from like here down is perm, but I do have like a bend starting, so we'll see what happens and how Chelsea's hair looks after we let it grow out and just clip back the things that aren't super great. This episode is going to be about my allergy journey, so my journey to basically how my allergies are, how I deal with having severe allergies to the animals that we have, so how I deal with having allergies and having animals and how that looks. I did want to say real quick that this episode, my channel, just in general, I am pro-Ukraine, so if you're pro-Russia, doors, like, feel free to click out of here, because I am very pro-Ukraine right now. I am anxious for them, praying for them, and hopefully World War III won't start. Hopefully we can figure something out. But at the end of the day, I am pro-Ukraine. So no matter what Russia does, I am standing with Ukraine in this moment. This is a crazy time we live in, guys. So anyway, that's all I wanted to say before we get into this video, that if you are in Ukraine and you happen to be watching this video, I support you. I'm on your side. I'm praying for all of you, and I'm praying for all of the pro-Ukraine Russians that are in Russia, and it will be okay. God is sovereign. It will be okay. It's not okay right now, but it will be okay, whatever happens. So just praying for you guys. Love you. Sending my love out to you. So let's get into the video. I was diagnosed probably from a very young age of having hay fever and having allergies like that. I grew up in a house that had a lot of different allergen things going on with it. I think that we have asbestos in our ceilings, and our carpet that I grew up with was put in the 70s and was never replaced until just a couple years ago. So that's a lot of dead, moldy carpet fibers in the air. So it was not a very allergen-friendly place. I would have bouts at my old church. They would put me in the cry room. So if you guys don't know what the cry room is, it's essentially a room that's built on next to the sanctuary, and it has like a window. So moms with babies would go in there. So if the baby's crying, it's not disrupting the service, but mom can still watch the service. And it would have speakers and stuff like that. My allergies would get so bad in different seasons of life that I would be sneezing, I'd be coughing, they'd put me in the cry room essentially because I would be so disruptive because my allergies were that bad. Well, Flash forward to getting married to Paul. We moved into what I affectionately call the cat apartment when we first got married. The previous owner had so many cats they had to rip up the carpet and place new carpet in, and I was cleaning cat pee off of surfaces throughout the time that we were there, so 6 months. I was still finding cat pee. There were cupboards that went all the way to the ceiling, and they had pee all the way down the inside. Like, it was disgusting. It was disturbing. It was, how? And it was particularly offensive when we started getting into winter and we had to turn on the heater and blasts of cat hair came out the heater. So I was starting to have coughing fits and getting really uncomfortable and things like that. Went to my doctor. My doctor put me on a nasal steroid, Flonase. So put on a nasal steroid, and then we moved out and my allergies kind of cleared up on their own. It was no big deal. And then we got Kula, and Kula is low dander, so that didn't bother my allergies either. I grew up having a lot of, in our family, I'm not the only one with allergies, so we had a lot of other animals that were also like low dander. So that would be, you know, hypoallergenic dogs. My aunt bred Yorkshire Terriers. My mom and I love poodles, so we had poodles in the house a lot and Yorkies in the house a lot. So it was not bad with the pet dander. Okay, flash forward to like a year later from moving out of the cat apartment and getting Kula, we got Kimmy. And I tried to do a lot of research on this, but there were some conflicting things about what pet dander looks like with an Aussie, and I should have listened to the website, but I listened to the breeder. And if she sees this, I listened to you, and I have saved all those text messages of you saying that she was low dander, and she was not. She was not low dander, okay? Let me be real. Kimmy is not low dander. Okay, Kimmy is Kimmy. Kimmy was a learning experience, who I love very much. Like, I love her so much, and she was a learning experience. Anyway, so Kimmy, high dander, that's when my allergies started really wrecking me. And that led us to allergy treatment, which I started getting allergy treatment a year ago now, a year and a couple months ago. I started doing allergy treatment, and we'll get into what that looks like. And I also, I decided that it would be a great idea because my husband has always wanted a cat. And I'm like, well, I'm on allergy drops now, so why not? As you can see, there were a lot of decisions made that weren't particularly great decisions, but they were made, so too late for that. I need to update this calendar. It still says February, so that's another thing I need to do today. Went ahead and adopted Binks, who is right behind my camera right now. Oh, there she goes. What do you think, Binks? We don't know. We went ahead and adopted Binks, and my allergies went bonkers a little bit. They did. So let me kind of tell you what happens when I have a bad allergy day. So bad allergy days, I'm coughing, I'm sneezing, I'm blowing my nose constantly, and sometimes I'll get hives around my mouth, which is not a side effect I anticipated. The good news is that because of my allergy treatments, it's gotten less and less and less, which is great. It's still like annoying whenever it does happen. Usually it's because I love my kitty, and she loves to cuddle, so sometimes she's in my face and she's rubbing her body on my face, like trying to get pets and loves and whatever, which I love, but my body does not appreciate. So it's one of those things where it's like, life. And also, my allergies do affect I have esophageal asthma, so that gets affected. Like, if I have a bad allergy day, I sometimes can't keep food down. I don't know why that is the way it is, but that's the way it is. I also have oral allergies. So there are sometimes I don't know why, and it's so weird because sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't, where I will have an oral reaction to a food. So like pistachios or tree nuts. I don't eat walnuts because that's a more consistent oral allergy for me, where I'll get like hives on the inside of my mouth and it's like, okay, I'm not eating that. It's fine. I have not had anaphylaxis, so that's not a thing that I am experiencing or have experienced to my knowledge, but it's one of those things where it's like, really? And the reason that oral allergies are the way they are is that basically if you're allergic to trees or you're allergic to grasses that are of the same family, like if you're allergic to a tree, you're naturally going to have a reaction to the nuts that the tree produces. It's kind of the same idea. My current allergies are as follows. So these are the allergies. Let me tell you about what happens when you go to the allergist. When you go to the allergist, they have these poker things. It's like a long slab and it has these little like needly things on the end, and they get like, they're dipped in the allergen, I think, or they're loaded with the allergen, and they ram it across your back, which is super fun. They ram it across your back, and then they basically look at how swollen you are on your back now from these different points, and that's how they can tell if you are allergic to a thing. A year ago, these are the allergens that I was allergic to and what the severity was. So trees, I'm moderately allergic to trees. Weeds, I'm moderately to severe. It was kind of half and half on the severity of my allergens to my reaction. My body's it was about half and half my reaction to weeds, whether it was moderate or severe, and some I didn't have any like reaction to. I am severely allergic to every kind of grass known to man. Severely allergic. Which explains why when I was a kid, I would my favorite thing was to like do the roll down the hill thing. That was like my favorite thing. And I'd always come up and I'd have like bumps all over my arms. And it's like, oh, that's why, because I was allergic to the grass I was rolling on. Fun. When it comes to dogs and cats, I am severely allergic to dogs and severely allergic to cats. I'm moderately allergic to mice and feathers, which is perfect. I was having a hard time sleeping, actually, and we discovered it's because I had down feather pillows on my bed. And it's like, of course I am having a hard time. I didn't even realize that. Because I wasn't even thinking about the pillows on my bed. My mom bought those for me when I was 10. Like, I'm not thinking about these pillows, right? And then we got rid of them and I was like, oh my gosh, I feel so much better. Like, yeah, of course you do. And I'm also moderately allergic to molds. Particularly, there is a mold that grows on the grass in East Colorado during the winter. And you know who's allergic to that? Me. It's me. I'm allergic. So I'm pretty much allergic across the board, which is so great. That's exactly what I wanted, right? This is how I live my best life. Now I'm going to let you know what I do to help my allergies and what we do as a family and how we kind of work through that and what that looks like. So if you have severe allergies and you are getting treatment for those allergies, but because you really want a pet, these are things that I recommend that you do if you want to make poor choices like I do. I just love babies. I love my babies and I want them around me all the time because I love them and they're the best. So this is specifically what I do for my allergies. So, first things first, I am on a bunch of medications. Number one, I am on my, okay, so this is my allergy drops. Basically, what I do with these is I take the 3 drops of these under my tongue once a day. They come in a variety of fruit flavors. I believe strawberry, lime, grape, and raspberry, I think, or cherry. I do strawberry, so they taste like strawberry flavored dog spit. I'm not even gonna lie. That's what these taste like. You take them, hold them under your tongue for about 20 minutes, and then don't eat or drink anything for 20 minutes, and then you're done for the day with these guys. I do a nasal steroid twice a day. I also do basically an Allegra knockoff brand. I do that once a day, and eventually I'm going to start weaning off of that. When I do my nasal steroid, I also do this guy. This is a saline spray. Your doctor will probably tell you that you need to do sinus flushes, which are a great thing, but if you want to have sterilized water, it can be a pain in the butt. My girlfriend recommended saline spray, so basically shoot up your nose, blow it out. I do this before I take my knockoff nasal steroid. So I do these guys together twice a day. I do the Allegra knockoff once a day, and then these drops once a day. When it comes to the rest of everything, managing other things, we have safe zones in the house. Not only do we have gates up to protect us against Kimmy pooping in the wrong place. I love her, and she is potty trained, but when she gets upset over something, she'll leave a gift. And that gift is usually in my kitchen, and it's a big pile of poo, which is just so great. But we have safe zones in the house. We have 2 gates up. We have 2 kid gates up. One is to our bedroom, and one is to separate the upstairs and the downstairs, because we have our door to the garage right there. And it's basically so we can keep the animals on one side of the gate while the door on the other side is being open, so that they don't like bum rush people, and vice versa. So it's mostly for that. But it's also helpful when we have to leave or whatever to have that gate there. The safe zone in our house for me with my allergies is our bedroom. No dogs, no cats, no allergens are allowed in the bedroom. So if I have a bad allergy day, I have a major sinus headache, things like that, I can go into my bedroom and sit there and, yeah, allow the mucus to drain out of my face. Another thing that I do is when I'm having a really bad sinus day where I'm having sinus headaches or getting, the wonderful, beautiful hives around, I will go and take a bath or a shower and just steam it out. I will do an additional saline rinse of my sinuses to just kind of unclog and clear out that stuff in my system. And that helps a lot to be able to have that saline spray just kind of knock out that stuff. Never, ever, ever do more than the recommended dose of this stuff, because as my doctor told me, you get more side effects, less cure. Another thing that we do is we try to keep things clean. So we try to vacuum at least a couple times a week to keep the hair down, wipe down surfaces to make sure that they're not completely cluttered with stuff. I also, when I need a break from the dogs or when I'm done, say, cuddling Binks and then she goes downstairs, I'll take a lint roller to my clothes and I have an industrial lint roller. Do you guys want to see? I'm gonna grab it. So here's my industrial lint roller. This is actually made for couches, but it's so nice. It has ridges, so it has gaps in between. It's really nice to be able to have an industrial size lint roller that's technically made for couches, to be able to just make sure that we get that crap off. Make sure that we're getting all of that hair off my body. And let's see, another thing that we do is we make sure that all of our animals go potty outside. One of the things that I was really serious about when we adopted Binks is we cannot have her litter box inside. It will completely destroy my sinuses. I will be in a bad way. It cannot happen. It would not be good. So we have her litter box outside, the dogs go potty outside, and all of the allergens and proteins that trigger my allergies are kept outside, except for the ones that are obviously on their fur. We don't need additional allergens lurking around this house. We really, really don't. So she goes potty outside, they go potty outside, it's all good. And last, but certainly not least, when all else fails, I defer to my husband. Which means that when it comes to emptying out the vacuum or changing the filter in our furnace and heater and stuff downstairs, when it comes to changing out things or dealing with things that are really, really, really allergen-y, my husband takes over for me, for which I am exceedingly and eternally grateful. One time, I had a sinus headache that lasted for almost a week because I decided to be helpful and empty out the vacuum cleaner myself. It was a bad, bad time. It was not good. It was not fun. It was not good. It was bad. I love him very much for continuing to do that. But essentially, I was out of commission at like that whole week because I had decided to be helpful, which turned out to not be helpful. So it's one of those things where you learn the hard way. What exactly is helpful? Well, let me tell you, it is not that. All right, guys. How do you guys deal with your allergies? I want to hear in the comments, like, what do you guys do that helps with your allergies? Maybe somebody can be helped with this, I don't know. But that's how I deal with my allergies, with my safe zones and my vacuuming and keeping the babies pottying outside. That's how I deal with my allergies. How do you guys deal with your allergies? I would love to hear it. Anyway, guys, I love you so much. Stay safe. And I'll be praying for you. Okay, love you guys. Bye. Oh, Binks, don't. No, that's not us. No, don't do that. I'm getting the hives around my mouth. What is that? Kimmy, do you want to be on camera? Come here. Okay. Okay. Where's Binks? Hi, Pula. I love my baby. She smells like dirt. You smell like you need a bath. She smells like she needs a bath. Seems like a me problem.